Valorant plans to roll out Act 3 with a new map and battle pass. Genshin Impact developer dives into the future plans for the MMO. Star Citizen celebrates 8 years in alpha, and it seems like Smite's trickster god Loki just became a tad less annoying to deal with. What's good, everyone? James Blonde here with your weekly recap for gaming news and announcements of the week of October 9th, 2020. And starting out the news this week, Star Trek Online has released its newest season, House Shattered, on PC. And speaking of PC, STO is now available on the Epic Games Store as well. This new update features a new episode and new task force operation. The Klingon remaster continues with 4 more missions completely revamped. Plus, in the coming month, players can earn credits during a special event to earn the new 4-piece Imperial Rift space set. Console players will get the update in a few months, scheduled for January 21st, 2021. Next up, if you've ever played Smite, then you probably know how dreaded and sometimes hated the name Loki was. And after all this time, the Trickster God has some new tricks up his sleeve, with a complete rework so big that Hi-Rez is saying it makes him essentially a new character. The new Loki embraces his backstabbing persona with 2 more abilities that do extra damage from behind. Gains a flurry strike and can blind enemies right before he takes them out. Meanwhile, some of the rage he induced should be quelled with 2 small nerfs. A brief failure of his invisibility when taking damage, and little sound effects that pop up right before he strikes. That's gonna be nice. Sounds like the Trickster God is properly ready for the jungle and has some decent counters in place as well. I mean, fair is fair, but some Loki mains might not be so thrilled with this change. This week, Armored Warfare is showcasing its brand new PvP map, Dabbah. Designed to take advantage of some of the game's recent balance changes, Dabbah is a large map divided into 3 segments by the Nile River and puts an emphasis on mobility and flanking. For now, the map is only available in standard and encounter random battles, so if you're hoping to PvE on it, you're out of luck. Armored Warfare is also putting in some changes for mechanized infantry so that you can direct their fire out on the battlefield. Overall, this update should be a much welcome change. Meanwhile, Black Desert's Secession update has finally rolled out to console players on PS4 and Xbox One. The update allows warriors, sorceresses, rangers, and berserkers to shift from their awakened weapons to renewed versions of their original weapons, gaining new abilities and variations for each weapon. Each class has its own unique quest line, available once Class Awakening is complete. To celebrate the update, Pearl Abyss is also hosting a few bonus events that will allow players to reallocate their skill points for free and gain bonus experience and goodies for leveling up past level 56 on these classes. Other classes, of course, will get their Secession skills in a future update. And back over on PC, Black Desert Online has released its newest expansion, adding the Odalaya region to the game, for PC users, of course. This region is Gothic-inspired, home of the sinister elven race named the Ahib, along with some of the most difficult-to-complete areas in the game. To celebrate, there will be a daily login bonus that adds up to $100 worth of stuff, including the Shadow Wolf mini-pet. BDO is also enjoying the return of Twitch drops for those watching the Black Desert Online category. In fact, people who don't actually have the game can get a free copy of the game just by watching a stream for 1 hour. That's pretty legit. If you're itching for some new action, Riot's Valorant is preparing to roll out Act 3 next week. Starting on October 13th, the first part of Act 3 will introduce the Icebox, a brand new map set in the Arctic wilderness, which favors skirmishes and skilled shots. That same day, the new Battle Pass will launch, improving weekly mission progress and plenty of themed goodies to unlock. A few weeks later, on October 27th, Valorant will get its newest agent, Skye, who has some interesting forest-themed magic abilities that can serve as distractions and extra eyes on the battlefield. And speaking of 13, NosTale is celebrating its 13th anniversary this month with a bundle of special gifts for its players. From October 7th through October 20th, players can log in each day to claim a special gift box, and in the item mall, you can claim a free Gloopy Cake Pet. There's also an ongoing collector's event and a double experience event that runs from the 9th through the 12th, so if you've been missing out on this classic MMO, make sure to log in. Speaking of anniversaries, Star Citizen is celebrating its 8th birthday this month. Yes, it's still in early alpha, but that's not going to stop Cloud Imperium Games from celebrating the fact that it's been 8 years since they first revealed Star Citizen to the public. Anyway, the celebration comes with the game update Alpha 3.11, which adds the Origin 100 series of ships, the removal of many armistice zones in favor of more realistic space threats, new weapons, and more. There's also a ton of events lined up, including the Halloween event, which can net you some limited edition rewards like these creepy helmets. And on top of that, CIG is also showcasing a new fly-through video for its single-player game, Squadron 42. Pretty neat stuff if you're still interested in either game after 8 years. In case you've forgotten, Bless Unleashed is about to have a full free-to-play launch on PlayStation 4. But for those who've purchased the Ultimate Founders Pack, a full 14-day head start access has begun this week, and other Founders Pack purchasers will get their head start access on the 12th and 15th depending on their pack. Alongside this head start, both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One players can now enjoy the new Fall update, which includes a level 30 arena challenge, an abysmal dungeon version of the Dreamscale Ruins, Halls of the Eclipse, guild trials, regular season ranking for PvP, and much more. Halloween is just a few weeks away, and that means it's time for more frightful festivals. Guild Wars 2 has announced its next Halloween event, which runs from October 13th through November 3rd. Called the Shadow of the Mad King, players can delve into the Mad Realm through games of Lunatic Inquisition, the Clock Tower Jumping Puzzle, and the Mad King's Raceway. Or challenge the Mad King in Ascent to Madness, or bathe in blood in the Mad King's Labyrinth. In all these events, you can complete achievements and earn event currency to redeem for spooky rewards, including the new Lunatic Court Cape and Demon-Haunted Weapons. Seems like everyone's playing the new free-to-play action RPG Genshin Impact these days, so we thought we'd share the latest news from an IGN interview with the developer MiHoYo, namely that the game is being developed as a live service, and there's a lot more in development. Currently, there's plans for a third city and new characters and character-specific missions, but the developer also wants to lean into player feedback to help shape how the game will be developed throughout the future. Genshin Impact is also planning to head to the Switch and next-gen consoles, except for Xbox for some reason. And while we didn't end up with a Torchlight MMO, Torchlight 3, reborn from what was going to be the MMO, is headed to launch next week on October 13th on Steam, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, with a Switch launch coming later in the year. The full game is designed more for the solo experience and will cost $40 US. Features include the new fort system, which lets players build, customize, and visit forts of other players as they travel, a new powerful relic system, improved pets, and 4 core classes. If you love the original Torchlight or Torchlight 2, you might want to consider picking it up or at least putting it on your wish list. Although Shadowlands is delayed, World of Warcraft is back in the news this week alongside Humble Bundle. Together they've paired up to offer a great selection of World of Warcraft books and comics for those of you who enjoy Warcraft lore or even just need something to read. The bundle starts unlocking at just $1, and it benefits the Call of Duty Endowment, which helps get unemployed military veterans back to work. If you're interested, make sure you check out the link below. And if you play Skyforge, you might know that another Demon Invasion event has recently started. These events are a bit like seasons in other games where you take part in a limited time event to earn rewards on a battle pass. This latest season features a new mount, new armor, and more, and Skyforge actually asked us to take a closer look, so make sure you check out that video to learn all about the Demon Invasion and see the event in action with Charlie. And finally, let's hit up our free Epic Games this week. First up is Abzu, an atmospheric game from the makers of Journey that has you exploring a beautiful underwater world with hundreds of species to discover. Also up this week is Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, a multiplayer shooter set in the Vietnam era and featuring 64-player battle matches, over 20 maps, over 50 weapons, and more. Both of these are available free to keep until October 15th, so make sure you grab them ASAP. But with that said, that's about it for all the major news and announcements for this week. Be sure to stay safe and keep your families healthy. Like always, you can find more information on the news topics linked in the description below. Feel free to discuss the news or even more news in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, wash your hands a bunch, hit that little bell icon to get notifications, and of course, share this video. Until next time, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.